To Jeff. We're gonna push ADU, supplementary storage number 5 ADU plus one program up to our special guest. Thank you very much. Lori Stilwell and Gary Colombo are here from the town.
And it was these two individuals who actually put us on the ADU program, which they will explain because they know everything in detail. It's a grant program that we're going to be adopting as well for resolution. So Lori and Gary can go through it quicker than I can. Because Amazon already has it, and they were implementing it, and now we will also hopefully get grant monies to do the same. So please, the floor is yours.
I'm Lori Silla, I'm the President of Community Development Director, and we all know Gary Colombo. And the town of Amherst has applied to the state CAP, the accessory dwelling unit program grant that the state offers. It's actually a pretty lucrative grant.
Sorry about that.
Well, it offers.
Can you just for clarity, define accessory dwelling unit?
Sure. An accessory dwelling unit is a secondary unit on a property, typically a single family home property, that is smaller than ancillary to the principal dwelling. So think of like an in-law suite or sometimes it's house and things like that. So this can be structured and defined a number of ways. It's really kind of up to the zoning code and how you implement them. But they are kind of a smaller unit that are utilized on a single family housing property.
It has to be a certain square footage, can't exceed a certain square footage. But it can be the top of a garage, if we permit that, right now we don't. It can be an unattached structure, which also, right now, unattached in terms of it has to be on the property, but it does not have to be attached to the present one.
Well, the code is a kind of
The clothing part,
Yeah, I know, I want to shift the pay attention because our code is different.
I'll describe it back. You're right.
Yeah.
It can be detached. So typically, around the country, sometimes it's detached, sometimes you're attached, sometimes you're in a basement. It all depends on how your community wants to define it. The town of Amherst, we received we had a grant from the state as well. I'm kind of wrapping that up now. We had a lot of interest in village residents. The town, when we launched our program, we actually took a deep look at our zoning code and said, there's a few things we want to change. So when this third round came up and the state said, you can apply for more funds, but we would like new territories. We said, well, how about the village? And so we're kind of through the way to present it to you. It's an opportunity after. It's $2 million. Each homeowner could receive up to $125,000 for the construction of the accessory dwelling unit. There is a limit on the household income in order to be eligible by the state. It has to be under 100% AMI. And you can put other parameters on it as well if you'd like. I'm sorry, area. So, off the top of my head, it's usually based on HUD. So for a single person household, that's like $62,000 a year. If it's a 4-person household, it's closer to like $80,000.
Yeah, right here it says 65 for 1-person household, 2-person household, 74 to 7.
Yeah. And so one of the things we found with the town's program is we have a lot of interest in people who want to host their parents to age in place on a single level, or adults to save their children. That's been the primary amount of our applications that we receive. So it all depends on how you want to structure your program. But the application is kind of tight. I don't go into a lot of detail in what we've drafted here. Program setup can kind of hammer out those details later if you like. One thing we did do in the grant application for the village is include an amount to either hire a consultant or work with the town planners to look at your zoning code and how you regulate accessory dwelling units now in the residential zones. I think they're allowed by right in the mixed use zones.
AEs are treated 2 different ways in residential districts. Accessory but being the mixed use or the non-residential districts, and then you live in You don't need such a use permit. And actually, you find a little bit differently as a accessory dwelling. You have accessory apartments, you have accessory dwelling, and two different sections. It's something that is to be necessary.
But when we go to the orthodox thing,
It depends on how your code defines it, so if you're asking if like an existing house, like the only building you have an accessory dwelling unit, it would depend on how the code defines it.
Right?
like how the owners.
Oh, that's a different thing.
That's a different
Yeah.
issue.
But we
Well,
can still
keep in mind, there are
It may not
single,
be eligible.
there are single residences that are zoned under
Jeff, the key is that there's a word you can avoid it. Primary use is in
So the other thing that we've written into the grant budget is $30,000 for updating the code and the board would like to, talking about the issues a little bit further. One of the things that Tom Amherst found was that our code originally limited 8,500 square feet. But if you wanted an ADA compliant unit, you really need a minimum of 700 square feet. So that's probably why the town had two accessory dwelling units across the entire 52,000 housing units. So we just need tweaks that we decided to make. And the state was very receptive to that. They were very interested to see our ability to do more of the process, how we can tweak them, through the code in order to encourage accessory dwelling units. And also learn about ways in which you wanted to regulate them in order to ensure that we're getting the community character. So we also added in there an update to design guidelines. So there's a few things built in to help that discussion happen.
Certain things, if they really plan it out, you think
But then another thing is, which I don't want to forget to mention, you can also upgrade or renovate your existing unit. Like, for example, our neighbor has one above her garage. She could, if she qualifies, she could use that money to update her current accessory dwelling.
So we're not talking about a lot here, it's kind of like a pilot program, if you will. The grant in total, we're estimating that we create possibly 8 new accessory dwelling units and 6 rehab, units. It's not a lot. But it's
It's
just
great,
to see
I mean,
how,
for a village that
Yeah.
size, it's really nice.
But here's the thing that
for the state grant, they have to be owner occupied. And one of the things the town did, there's 2 things the town did when we were considering our zoning updates. We wrote them in a way to ensure that they didn't create their duties. They had to be long-term rentals, and owner occupied, and actually in certain zones, we require them to be attached. Because obviously, they're a college town, you wanna make sure that they're, typically you're sharing a wall. You're making sure that you have good tenants that are, good neighbors for your other neighbors.
There's no interest you can't do it in the one of the two. It's limited, yes, it's limited to one.
But there's no, is there a cap on the rent?
Is there, for the town program, we decided to cap the rent to do seeking other funding, for points for affordable housing, but that's a decision you guys.
currently R1 and R2. You can't start. In the MU and in the R2.
Because these are things that we have to discuss and we consider if we want to change that.
I like that.
Particular purpose.
We've identified a couple of things we don't
Yeah.
to do, so that we can start shifting up. The important one right now, don't be reverted. Water ordinary, to the person owning the property. So no rent is collected. The code isn't clear about attached, but it does say the garage space shall have to be that it's really just back up to that's what it was. Well, it's about go through everything that you can see.
Yeah, those are my questions to you, Gary. How much of our code, I mean, you know, what if there's anything in there, or 30,000 enough to do what we need to do?
Just to the accessory dwelling section and the accessory apartment section. Yeah.
What's in the
Should
grant budget
update.
for the updates, so updates
Oh.
design guidelines.
And now the accessory dwelling unit, I mean, so short. That's exactly right. We just have to decide on what limitation we want to set, you know, what is good for our village. But it's also, don't forget, always income, based on income. So if we have an elderly person who's just living off Social Security in the village and can barely make ends meet, that person could, you know, rent out an accessory unit.
Or live in the accessory.
And they're rent out her
Right down to the majority.
You're getting a lot of those inquiries, you're hearing from people who want to age in place, but they don't have a bedroom on the floor, so they want to do it for themselves, and then offer, or they're trying to attract caregiving, full-time on-site caregiving, and maybe provide the apartment for free in exchange for caregiving and errands and snow plowing and all of that. So you're seeing a lot of different housing scenarios come up, you know, in interest.
So they can't build this. Sorry.
Not the way the code is written.
That's your.
It is a true, that our special use permit for accessory apartment is fairly restricted. Basically, an in-law apartment, you can't charge, and you can only be and it can only be 500 square feet, and you can't put it in the garage.
Yeah,
So there's a
so,
lot of restrictions.
right.
But you could move into it yourself and then rent out the rest of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is,
Well, you still own that, it goes to the state, you still own the property, you still own all the property. You know, you're just renting it out, and then that's, I mean, if I own the house, rent one, I don't know, whatever, get out for it, all of it. So, I mean, it's pretty.
So the grant is a forgivable loan, so it's forgiven over 10 years, and this, one of the state requirements is that has to be applied for that 10 year. You can rent it for nothing, but you still have to have it occupied in the 10 year term, and then as it's forgiven over time, if you need to sell the property or discontinue the ADU, you get pay back for the year.
Okay. so
Yeah.
you can understand that, to your point.
Right.
That's it. In fact, people have to know that, or maybe it's closed anyway.
Oh, they're absolutely selling.
It's all part of the education process up front, which is also part of the town, you know, we developed all the marketing materials and everything, PowerPoint presentation, so we do all the income streaming now, it's similar to the HUD income stream we do, so it's prepared to, you know.
Oh, you do the administrative portion.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great.
And then Belmont Housing Resources, so it's a requirement of the grant, is that we partner with a nonprofit housing agency. And so Belmont Housing is a partner on the construction. A lot of times we use that for our housing capability in town, and, you know, over, out of that, they're familiar with helping someone who did, and then walking up to the sector and they're, you know, doing the work and keeping orders, and sending their plans, for their support on that.
So the town uses Belmont and we would also use it. Other
Any
questions?
questions?
Belmont also qualifies by the agency.
And, yeah,
Well, Belmont does
Section 8.
Oh, no, not as a whole. So it's a different, so they're written into the construction, they're coming up, their portion for construction management is coming up with the homeowners.
One thing that not to change is the other. That's in the zone.
But are there other parameters
For the
to
state,
qualify for this? Like for instance, can it be limited to 500 square feet?
under the.
Could the village keep the provisions and can't rent it?
Yes, you can keep it as it is right now. I'll tell you right now, the town's 12 awarded is only 2 are trading. The rest of them are mostly. There's, you could continue with the current conditions.
Not that I'm expressing an opinion.
No,
I
it's
want to know
fine.
what we're
No,
working
it's a question to
for.
ask.
So I think we'd have to change the 500 square feet things, make them ADA.
You don't have to, but it would be better.
It's
Well,
500
and I
up to
would-
750.
Well, that's to be determined.
That's
What Lori is saying is using.
Is yours, what is
So
your
the town switched from a model where we had this a similar 500 square feet limit to a percentage of the size. So, of
Which
the,
I think is in the other,
In
not the accessory apartment, the
dwelling
accessory dwelling unit could be 35,
35.
not more than 35%.
Or the town is a percentage for 900 square feet.
you'll see the 12 awardees we have right now. Majority are around, between 500 and 700.
Yeah, I would not want to see something that's stupid. Smaller property.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people can actually qualify for this, but it's wonderful and we should put it out there.
Oh, it should be a
And just take it from there. See what
Because
happens.
the other But now, it's a definition, it's in the definitions, the definition says 35% for.
I will say, we wrote the application that the village would consider. You're not promising to adopt anything, change anything, you're just trying to look at, you take a look at the general activity, done as it exists, and something.
And that's all we need to state, right?
Mhm.
No promises, that's the made.
No promises.
And this is a forward, this is not a thing, this is an opportunity for money to look at.
In this provision, the single accessory apartment, we didn't do anything with that. We updated the zoning code in 2010. That's been in there a long, long time.
Now, we have two different definitions
Yeah.
for the same thing, two different ways of measuring.
Right. Depending on the zone. And it isn't, because like I said, there are a few, not an insignificant, but not that many, single family uses in the MU. But if they wanted to put an accessory dwelling unit in, they'd be governed by the MU, not this accessory apartment
Dwelling
thing.
unit, accessory, yes.
Yeah.
And
And wouldn't be
That
a
is-
special use permit.
no special use permit, and as a single family house, the design standards don't apply.
All right, is there any other questions?
Well, thank you for your help, though.
Yes,
Really
thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much. Thank you for coming in and thank you for all of your help. I really appreciate that.
She's scared.
Thank you.
Today's the deadline is the 15th. It's gonna be submitted. No, January. That's why we're doing the resolution tonight, and the town, and we're submitting it.
I don't know.
It's all already written up. All we do have to do is do the resolution tonight, and it's good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, we can do that, absolutely, but now we have an idea, and we can all think on it. what we want to see, but, one thing I know in the village, there are a lot of single, elderly people who want to stay in the village, and they have a hard time paying taxes. And, maybe we can provide them an easier outlet to remain in the village, do something else.
And this is kind of a new carrot approach. I mean, there was a earlier attempt of the governor with legislation that basically mandated that ADUs be allowed. And that met with a lot of resistance. So this, I think, represents, I haven't read the research program. I think this is an attempt to try to increase housing supply using a carrot approach.
Very good. All right. Grant update?
Grant update, which then you sheet in front of you. We did have a meeting with, on the Island Park Dam grant. I will take complete Dam grant. We did have a meeting with, Mark from FEMA. Just a quarterly update. It was really fast. We just kind of went through some forms and stuff. Everything is on track there, and we're ready to start submitting. And I think we have the request for first payment in, so we can go ahead and do that. Next on the list is the WQIP. Unfortunately, our application for this year was denied. Bernie Wartella's scheduling a meeting for tomorrow, actually, with the grant agency, so we can get further feedback on that. All right,
And this is the third time.
we gotta find out.
Great, find out.
Yeah.
But in other
We don't
cases,
know
this is the things, with this word, just,
They were all checked this time.
we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they wouldn't deny it either. So you never know.
Still
Right.
competitive.
Yeah, it is.
Then,
Yeah. And then the two on the bottom are two new grants that Sophie submitted, on behalf of the fire department. So there's an assistant to firefighters grant that's open now that we have submitted to. And then the Gary Sinise Foundation, we applied to, for a technography device. And we're just kind of waiting to. Huh? Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Technography?
it's,
Yep.
it's a life.
Doesn't it do like chest compression?
Yeah, it's a life saving device. Go ahead, you guys,
No,
No,
I,
okay.
I can't,
I didn't know
I
if you-
can, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Something new.
Yeah, it's a life saving device. But
It does chest
yeah,
compression.
not for things, I think.
Is that the machine that does the?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen it. No, that's the defibrillator. Yeah,
So it pumps, you don't give it
basically
yourself?
it does the chest compressions automatically. And so.
Right.
It's not-
Can we stay
you
alive?
can Switch out after a certain period of time.
Probably before I get so tired, so.
Well, they use that for patients with cystic fibrosis, they have a machine already like that pumps for the lungs. Same idea,
This is a
for the
chest
heart
compression.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing, it's out there, there are other, host companies that have.
Very good. Hopefully that'll be a positive response, that'll be nice to have some started. No. We'll get there. We'll do it under name. No, it's just to kind of read, give you an idea of where we are. Any questions on the grant? Oh, you find them?
I did.
Committee and event updates, I have no committee or event updates right now. Under my watch at this moment, working on the upcoming event. Asher Crossing, did you get back to the planning board?
I think we're still waiting for them to give those new set of as-built,
I
right?
understand Mark is giving, Mark Work, CEO, is giving them comments. I have not seen him by so far.
You know, I mean, I had a meeting with them and they said, Mark told them, plans were there were lots of issues with the plans, and we didn't have any actual as-built, so they were supposed to get those, and I haven't heard anything since
And
then.
then a review of those as-built, turn into a site plan application.
Yeah,
Maybe they understand to be a complete review.
what they understand, we don't understand, I'm not sure.
Which will entail those fees that go along with it. Correct?
If you start from
Spending time.
scratch,
We're starting from scratch, we're revising
Are
on
we-
our previous
Right.
approval.
I mean, we'll have to see, we will, until we get this done.
Do we have a date of a deadline? No
Did not, well, no, there's no deadline, because they're the ones who should be motivated. So C is always still.
Right, right. And that's understood, but
Well, yeah, but I don't know what else we can do. I mean,
This is-
right,
But he's on top of it.
yeah.
He's on top of it. We're in good hands right now.
Oh, I know we're in good hands. I'm not saying that we're not. I
Yeah.
just don't want them, this is, how long
I know.
have we been discussing this and how long has the probably been dragging their feet? Exactly. So that's why I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, do we have some hard, April 1st?
so I just don't know what we would say if we don't do there. Don't wanna be too hard.
Well, it would just be like, it'd be a goodwill measure. if
Well, that
they
may-
could
yeah,
Get that
Right.
to us in a timely, fashion. All right. Hope for the best.
No, I think Mark would be able to accept it.
Yeah. Funny soft lawn. Actually, we're gonna replace funny soft lawn, since that is in code enforcement camp as well.
Yes,
So that is now off of,
at least for now.
for now. So we're gonna take that off, but we are going to look at. Things that we need to start looking at. And Ben and I have been sending emails back and forth for the last month, but we're gonna start looking at lights. Because I read this for the decorative top, and we actually only have 90 days from the date of,
get that.
of December 17th. So I'm gonna make copies of this for everybody. We're gonna add the decorative, treatment, the LED conversion to the decorative. I get emails, let me go back a bit. I get emails on this treatment. And we kind of hodgepodge and replace one when it goes out, and then it doesn't look like the other one, or it's LED now. And so Ben did get a quote to change them all out to be uniform, but we need to look at what we want. And we need to look at if we, somewhere, it was $20,000. So I believe we could, if we needed to find that in our capital.
You have that in the lighting budget.
We
Right
have it in the
now.
lighting budget right now. We have it in the lighting budget right now.
So it's 174 lamps.
Yeah.
Just the decorative. But
Those are
then-
the decorative, 174.
Right, so. I'll give everybody, I'll make everybody happy with it, but just so you know that that'll be on there instead of. I'll make copies in between meetings, so everybody has them, you can start looking at it, and I'm very confident leaving the style,
Oh, no.
no?
That's not-
Okay.
I don't live here, you do. No.
Well, but you know what we have, we already have acorns out there, but we didn't, it's not available, right?
Well, they're available, they just look like, bad.
Which ones do you recommend though? I'm
Which
just
one,
curious.
I mean, cause you said if there's, I wanted you the, I
My
would like
preference
to
would
do-
probably be something that is dark sky compliant. The
I'd like
acorns
to.
are not. You're probably looking at that carriage style,
I'll give it
similar to what we have on Spring Street. And we're looking at the town of Amherst's decorative lights around the town in some of the neighborhoods. It would be
Is
comparable
that
to that.
in Glen Park?
No.
No.
so, because I did wanna do the dark
Those-
sky if we can.
those are only lights owned by National Grid, so you wouldn't be getting them on Cadman, Brooks, I'm sorry, Lake Ledge, you own those. So you're looking at like, Highland, Hirschfield, Monroe,
Right.
Columbia, Oak Grove, Scott. It is.
Right. Okay. Is there something, do we have, would you be able to get an idea of what streets you in and what the.
Well, we've got an inventory. Sure.
Could you provide us a copy of that for us today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then we know, so what we'll be looking at.
Yeah.
So there's no confusion and there's no confusion publicly. And then we'll get it done, but we only, the next meeting from the vote, we have to submit it in 90 days for this price. All right, the short-term rental moratorium. I'll a little bit, send an email, because some ideas that I did not, so that's my, I think that, full responsibility, and I have notes in my last meeting, I'll look at that information, I'll see that. Some basic code, other code codes, different codes, we look at in those numbers, that we may be able to look at and draw from.
Well, isn't that what Sophie sent us all already?
You took some of them up for me?
Yeah, before Christmas.
Okay. Did you send all of them?
I don't know, but it was a packet on different cities, the way they have on Airbnbs. Different communities like Schenectady and Syracuse and.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, then those are out, and then you had said, which one did you say, I can't remember the village. I'll look up, but I'll tell them, because that was very comparable to our village. So we'll look at those and then we'll get some ideas on that, and some whatever things. And get that done by summer. We only have 6 months. Then we get it done by June.
We can set it at the,
Yeah.
we should at least
We
do
want.
our best.
Yeah. Try to do it, because we're gonna have our season is coming. The Elgin Creek Dam update. New flavor of ice cream. Now at Lake Effects. So, everybody has a memo from. And we reviewed this, okay, I sat down with Ben and Sue and Sophie, and we reviewed this, and we really looked at it closely. We then is sending back our requests to Gomez and Sullivan, for more information. We didn't get enough information to review it and do a cost benefits analysis. This is a primer. Okay. So just so you know. So we're not choosing based on this information, okay?
But I thought they understood what we were looking for better. That's why I'm a little confused by this.
They know what we're looking for, I think they haven't put it all on people.
That's correct.
They know what we're looking for. It's not helping.
Did they give us a time schedule? Time frame?
Well, no, they gave us this, now we've gone back to them, kind of where we would like more information, more what areas we really want them to start to give us some more information, deeper information, like from, for instance, in one of the one of the fixed trust, there is a fixed trust where 1.2, when we walked it, we discussed measures to reduce the flooding, but they did not put that in. So they need to put more of that information, which they have the information. They just didn't go into as much detail as we want, as we need to look at it and move in any direction. So, yes.
To make it typically help a lot with this. What I did riparian rights of the homeowner so long.
We're gonna,
Very complicated. Because, well, it's not really riparian, so,
we discussed that.
yeah, I mean, the ownership of the creek bed itself versus where the property, it varies. Just within the small distance of creek runs through the village, quite a bit. So those rights, depend, are not uniform.
So certain properties, their property line would extend
To
into
the middle of the creek or all the way across the creek. Or some
But they don't.
Here, they actually, they own the
One.
entire,
Right on Cayuga.
pardon
You're talking about the properties north of Main Street that
Yeah.
actually extend across.
Yeah.
And then back here in South Cayuga, we have survey information that shows they don't extend all the way
Right.
across. And then farther
but it's not
beyond,
necessarily unified. That's the thing. Even, it really depends on each deed.
But if you have riparian rights, does that entitle you to have water?
Possibly, I mean, it's a really, so if you're talking specifically about this issue about whether the people on South Cayuga have the right to have that channel watered, that's an interesting question that well, it has been addressed several times. It's come up several times. And again, it generally speaking, so there was a court decision back in the 1930s that required the village to keep that dam down, except to relieve the actual flood condition. And a number of the property owners upstream have tried to claim that that requires that they can try to enforce that. The plaintiffs in that case are actually the owners of the mill. The reason, presumably, why they got it was they wanted the water level to be sufficiently high that there would be water that would go into the sluice well. We have tried to do, because the decision itself is not clear as to, we give no reason. So we have had people in the county try to find this file on this thing, and we need that title company. So we have nothing on that case other than the little word of the decision. Whichever. So I do not believe, in my opinion, I've discussed this before, I don't think downstream people have any, can't rely on that decision to enforce it against them because they're not the parties who got that judgment. And I don't think it was for their benefit. So, but that's just one part of this question. The rest is really kind of the it really requires, to really answer that question, you really have to look at all of the deeds and the history, all of these properties that have flooded. To really make a determination as to what the rights are and what they're not.
Okay, and that would be put in the hands of an attorney.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying they refer to the riparian rights.
What do you,
Places.
oh, and I didn't.
They
sorry,
do.
I didn't-
So that's something I wanted to clarify.
So
So,
it's addressed to riparian rights.
yes.
which was claimed by residents. There was a letter that went out to Gomez and Sullivan and
Right.
this board claiming that they had
So we're
riparian
going
rights.
to, you may be looking into that. Yeah. Well, nobody knows the real answer to that. Yeah. That it hasn't been determined.
I'm not, I'm also, I'm sorry, I'm reading this
Years
time,
of-
but I'm not sure that they're really.
I believe they are.
But, so I'll have to read this a little bit more closely, but.
Yeah, nobody knows the answer to that. That question has been moving for.
But you know that case that they keep bringing up, and they can find it, so it doesn't Maybe it doesn't exist.
Well, no, the case exists. We have the decision. We have
You do have
the
the
order.
Oh, yeah.
It's no longer enforceable. Again, on my opinion, regardless of whether the thing is enforceable at all, in my opinion, it's not enforceable by people who are not parties to that litigation or their successors. And then it's enforceable, if at all, by the owner of the mill.
So the mill owner could go back and reverse that if they wanted to, since they don't use the mill, you know?
Well, there's an argument to be had that the whole the order should be declared moot anyway, because the mill doesn't, it
Doesn't-
hasn't operated, hasn't used that sluice way for
Well over a decade.
decades.
Okay. Very good, all right, thank you. So that's where we are, again, we have some information that we will have more information to come. This was never gonna be easy. It's a very big decision.
Yeah,
We are
I
not
mean,
going to.
you're not gonna make everybody happy. It's impossible.
We're never gonna make everybody. So we're
You're
gonna
not
do the best we
competing
can
in-
to make a big decision and hopefully have an island. But with that being said, we are not making a big decision. We're not gonna say, oh, well, here's this, and we got us this, and now we're gonna go and do something. We're gonna get more information. We can make an educated. And hopefully, you know, it's locked in, we'll be here, that was, gonna last long, well into the years, long into we're done. Yeah, so. Well, and then that's the other portion, you have to not funding. That's part. That's the other portion of it, the funding, because that's the part that I've been working on and you'll have to work on, is finding the grant funding. We're working with FEMA already, which is good. But we have to, you know, we have to bring, we have to go up to Amherst and you know, just to get, there's the, there's another study that Ben forwarded to me last week that ties all of that, in, you know. What's the title of that?
Oh, that was the resiliency study.
The resilience. That's tied in Amherst and Chihuahua, you know, how it affects them. So just have to pull it all together and, you know, get good information and, or complete the best information. And then we bring in all the parties that affect. Then ask for funding and letter for support and other things like that in the community around them. So yeah, so it's gonna be a little while, but at least we're chipping away. We're not, no. That's it. But we're not going to just, you know, we're moving forward. This isn't gonna stop. It's gonna keep going until we get these things. Old homeboys, old home days, probably going to we met, I know, I think I mentioned this last time. We did meet, and that was several of the Valley Boys. They're working on a written plan, a safety plan, a safety plan. It's a really good plan, a verbal plan, the written plan will be very well done. And that'll come to the board once it's completed. We will be meeting mid-February. And then hopefully get that written safety plan by mid-March, so we can review it, approve it, and have, and the Amherst Police Department review it, so everybody knows what's going on, and everybody gives their stamp of approval, and then we'll have a plan in place. So that's a good thing. This way we can move forward with anything we do. And then music on Main, we just have to do that one change to the fee schedule. We'll do that. Okay. We'll do that either next meeting or beginning of February. We just have to change the committee that are in the we adopted resolution
every July.
Really. Like, sounds like everybody's attending so far, Jim, you said tonight?
So,
Okay. Good. So, you know, we're outside with it. So we're going to NICOM, which is after learning.
I have everybody going.
Yeah. Really good.
I like it, but it's good.
I registered you, we can always cancel.
Yeah, we can. Sales tax came out today, actually, we got a new update on the sales tax. Erie County's still projecting, a 1% increase, which is good, and they're really, really close. We still have two, deposits for December, and that is not including the last 2 weeks of the year, which was the heavy shopping weeks. I'm sure we're gonna get a pay, the sales tax revenue through the county. So that's good news, and actually, yep, that's everything I have. And I will leave it to you, Deputy Mayor Ford, please.
Committee and event updates. Well, over the holidays, there weren't many committees or meetings. This start again this month. I have environmental coming on Monday, even though it's a holiday. And on Wednesday, I have zoning appeals. And last Tuesday, I have HPC. So we have a full agenda. The 175th anniversary of the incorporation of the village. How would you like to proceed? I mean, this is huge. We should start planning, and time flies. Do you want to do an event like close down Main Street?
Somebody's gonna work on this as an outreach with WBA.
Yeah, so she's going tomorrow? No, Wednesday is their next meeting, and she is talking with them about it. I think she's brought it up once or twice, but she's just gonna go talk about it at every monthly meeting. She's also coming up with a graphic for it. We're being looking at that. And we're not sure exactly event-wise like what we're gonna do. We thought about renaming the town for a day and stuff like that. Different ideas we've got floating around. But yeah, some kind of big event.
Well,
Possibly.
we will rename the town if the Bills go to the Super Bowl. For
For
one
a short,
day.
but for a short while. No, the village.
Billsville.
We're gonna
To Billsville.
rename the village.
Rename the village.
Billsville.
Billsville. For one day.
Right? It makes
Yeah,
sense.
Billsville.
Bill-
Billsville.
And you looked it up, and nobody had it.
No, and I talked to the Bills about it, and they're all on board. So it's really great.
Yeah, they're hard to be part of it.
So we could maybe officially change the name of the village for one day to Billsville and get the schools involved and stuff like
The restaurants can participate, the stores.
Right.
I love the idea. Anything that makes us happy.
And it's our 175th anniversary, so we'll tie it all together in a month.
You go out and find your
that. Sure. Go jump on them.
Yeah.
The ones that are broken already.
Are you committing to be the first? Do it.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
everybody think of what you want and what month. What month
We are gonna tie it in with, Old Home
days.
Home Day.
Okay.
We already spoke about that. So we have an event or a tent or something there to, we'll work with Sophie on that and have it there. I really would like to see the WBA some kind of, an anniversary week or something where they do, either they do a menu or ginger beer or something, ginger beer drink, because that's, such an old.
Yeah, like what were they drinking? 170.
Yeah, whatever they were drinking.
If it's safe.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the old Amber Street that I played in the last anniversary, they had ideas. I mean, they had full-blown committees for different, the WPA for this and that, and they were really geared toward making it happen. And with the new, who's running the WPA now? We want a new president?
Napoli?
Yeah,
Marty?
no, it's not Marty, it's the new garment shop, it's just,
Oh.
nothing, it's just like. Yeah, but, are you going to do that? Yeah, if you could, really, I mean, tell them that we really put it together, because it was so difficult for the solar eclipse, remember?
Yeah.
I tried everything possible, and it was,
We can't shut down Main Street.
no, it won't.
Why?
But we could,
We can have music events.
I don't think that
We've done
the
it
state
before.
would let us shut down Main Street.
We've done it
Oh,
before.
we've done it. We've done it before.
Oh, it's fun. You should think about that.
Like Lancaster just had a watch party.
And that's the parades. We're shutting Main Street down for the Jolly Boys and for.
Temporary,
We've done it
Yeah.
for at least 5 hours. Remember they're playing the bands out there? Out on
Yeah, I
Main
was the
Street?
guy.
Yeah. Oh, no, we've
Well,
done
then
it.
let's work on something with businesses. Because that way the businesses will get more involved. If we just do it on the island, it's not quite as, you know what I mean? It's not as impactful.
They didn't want to do it. No, they closed down. I mean, during the eclipse, most of the
And
restaurants.
nobody knew what to expect. They, you
Yeah.
know, the way they were talking about the roads were gonna be log jammed and da 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 da.
But so let's make this one actually happen and
Okay.
be really positive. I think it will be.
I do too.
Yeah. So the community comprehensive plan, as you know, we did select a company, Colliers Engineering and Design of Buffalo, New York, will revamp our comprehensive plan. So what I want to do to make sure is follow their guidelines of what to expect at what time. Because it's already January, and I looked earlier this afternoon to see what's supposed to happen in the first 4 months. Project initiation meeting and monthly check-ins. A public workshop is supposed to start in February. So I want to make sure we're on top of this, and so we don't slack off, because I'd rather get this done sooner than later. Right now, it's 1.5 years. We're figuring to redo the comp plan. I don't want to go beyond that. We are also putting together a new steering committee, because some of the members of the old steering committee have no interest or moved away.
Not
They
the
can't do
steering,
it.
just the general.
So we're just gonna do,
Not the steering.
oh, sorry, it's just general
The
committee.
general committee.
So it's just called the comprehensive general committee, comprehensive committee. Okay. So, yeah, and we're gonna have a resolution on that next meeting, right?
Yeah, name we're trying to fill the board with different representation from all the different kinds of businesses and different community groups.
Those are two different, I mean, that's where it's confusing. We have really two committees.
Right. There's a
Right.
steering
We have the
committee,
reg-
the smaller
exactly.
group, the larger group, one of the bigger.
Exactly.
Those residents and businesses.
Right. The two things, yeah. We need to discuss that.
And the comprehensive plan portion is, you know, we were calling it community plan, but now we call it community comprehensive because that's what the kind of everyone, yeah, everyone calls them comprehensive plan. And that verbiage.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
and then.
Holiday.
So the community comprehensive,
Comprehensive.
so we're good. We're good. But I
We
mean,
just know that
honestly,
we call the community plan for so long.
I'm happy with that we got it done and we're moving forward. Next, the Lehigh Valley section house, roof replacement. You can see here we have a letter. Thank you, Ben. For submitting this. For having to replace the roof on this section house. These are just, they're gonna set up plans for us. Italia, right?
Flynn Battaglia.
Battaglia.
Flint and Battaglia, yeah, they're gonna, create a proposal to provide professional services for the village for the roof replacement of Lehigh Valley section house. As we all know, it's in really bad shape, and I'm going to read a resolution today to, use the monies for this particular project, just for this real. All right,
This is for them to create all the building documents and stuff like that.
Bid documents and construction administration. And keep in mind, we do have this budgeted for this fiscal season.
we really have to move on this because the section house is Last but not least, the couple program, thank you for going to Gary. But if you look at the packet, all the letters that have been submitted, three were all included to achieve this grant money for this project. Thank you again for coming and explaining everything.
No,
All right.
we're just gonna read the
Thank you very
resolution you sent. Yeah, I didn't change it at all.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Committee meetings, last meeting has, let them know about the question did arise about qualified volunteers to do lower level. And I don't know.
It's in historic, you can't.
Yeah.
It's very historic.
Like, why can't we get the right paint colors and have people who know how to paint? It's not like we're changing the colors.
You could just put the paint on top of the next budget.
As a previous committee member, trustee said, it's just paint.
Because it's historic.
Screw it up,
landmark.
paint over it.
I think they do.
No, it's
Right, no, colors and stuff are not
Yeah,
changing.
it's not
changing.
We talked to Susan Fenster about that one.
Yeah.
But as far as who paints it, that's not dictated.
I don't know, but
Well, I remember, the only reason I say it does, the steps at the, for example, at the nunnery, the stone steps, when that was all lawn marked, we had to find somebody who was historic, masonry, who would redo those steps properly.
Yeah, that's a little different than paint the
Right.
wall.
But I'm just saying, I would just ask to be sure,
Right.
you know?
I mean, shoot, they've already done some touch-up, so.
yeah, so, but my question is,
Oh, no,
volunteers,
just saying that.
What's- I mean, can volunteers actually do that type of work, but then it's, they cover those who involved with the letter?
Well, that's definitely, I
Not a
definitely
ladder.
don't, we don't want people on ladders.
No ladder.
And I don't know whether the union would take, I mean, I know we do volunteers. That's
No, I don't see that being it.
what, I just,
We're not sending them home
Essentially-
without work, so that's fine.
Other people who do work that they contractually.
I think it needs to be done.
But if that's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
Or, I mean, can you do minor touch-ups?
Talking the lower end, that's nothing.
So the ceiling alone is like 6,500. The rest of it would be like 30, 40
No, I mean,
to paint. And there's a lot of details.
That's the thing, yeah, you got what, 5 different colors in that space. Because whoever chose those colors 12 years ago had fun with it, but now it's going to cost a lot to maintain that. And nobody says that that's the historic color of the building. That was just picked, Attilio picked the colors and went with it. Attilio and Ken.
you know who painted it last?
I believe we did. I'm pretty sure it was the DPW before my time. It was probably,
Oh my
12 years
That was
ago.
before it was interior landmark as
Yeah.
well.
Well, you guys just did that this year.
I personally don't care for the colors. It's
And
just
is
my-
that,
I mean,
Is-
we
are you
have to
beholden
go
to those
through
colors?
HPC to get approval on all
I
of
think
that.
so.
You know what I mean?
You want me to ask them what you think?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
I'll ask HPC.
Because we'll have to put that in the next budget if we are gonna pay some volunteers.
Okay, I'll
I
ask.
mean, if it's 2 stories, I don't think we should.
No problem.
Colors next, as far as not that color, we talked about it. So it's already original colors, the end. That's why we have to, so it's not cheap.
the windows weren't painted back in the day. They are now. So what color were the windows before they were painted? Now they're clear. Would be my guess.
well, we could paint it in color.
Well, I'm gonna
Well,
ask
let's
HPC.
ask-
Yeah, let's talk to them and see.
I'm gonna ask them.
So there's a rain.
I'm gonna ask.
She did a ton of research on what it was originally built.
Yeah.
There's a long description of
So no, I'll. Right.
The, moving on, the conviction. But it's not necessarily for the U one. But there are areas that are U1 that are, don't have any protection, so to speak, either in a way of.
That was talked about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It died on the vine.
Well, this is for the wood,
Yeah, it's a wood floor.
I don't remember that there was.
And it's, you know, as the use increases, or even at the level that it's at, that will just continue to deteriorate, you know, longer it's left on.
We can get a quote if you want, what it would cost to refinish it.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily certain that it requires.
Or just like like a little sand.
You want to remove the benches and all that, I mean, that's.
It's a good community.
Especially if they allow.
I mean, floors like
High
that,
wear and tear areas.
Yeah.
Making some changes.
unless the boards are sinking and then you have to, you know, but I would never remove them or
There's
anything.
nothing, well, the benches.
No, just a quick, like, you know, just like a,
Just touch up the main aisle.
yeah, and a repoly.
Because if you let it go, you can keep it up.
We do the whole
It's a little section of that. It's just stuff
I wouldn't do it in sections, if we're gonna do it.
I do the whole thing. I wouldn't do just the aisle. I just do
Just
the
get an
whole
auto
thing.
scrubber and a buffer.
It shouldn't be that bad. I would do the whole floor though, not just the section.
Yeah, when we had the benches out, you can clearly see the wear from where people are walking between the benches and the aisles. If you're gonna
Yeah.
do it, you ought to do it
Maybe
right.
they sand it and then
I'm
reschlag
gonna write 2027 next to it, 'cause we're getting, I'm telling you, it's not gonna be cheap.
Alright.
Sure.
So that's 2027.
We'll get a quote just to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
Alright,
dig back. I have quotes from, well, they're a couple years old.
okay.
Down on the back, that's still the same size bench.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Which side?
I would love to get those.
Parking.
The parking one. Okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, as it states right now, village meeting house parking limited 2 hours without permit,
Right.
and the penalty is, et cetera. But no issues of permit.
Right, and it should just say,
Okay,
you know, for meeting house events only.
that's what I agree with.
So the question is, changing the signage.
You need to change the
Well,
code.
there is
There, I
actually.
thought there was something in the code.
That's-
why
That's
we-
in the code, 2-hour parking.
So that can be changed,
Change it.
Yeah, let's
So
change
Yeah,
the
let's-
code.
but it's not just the signage.
Okay.
Change the code.
So
Yeah,
you
no,
want code change.
To village meeting house parking only
only,
for events of meeting house.
How about
no,
only?
just village meeting house parking.
Event.
Period.
Well,
And then now you're gonna
If you don't
enforce
know,
it.
If you're not coming into the meeting house, don't park here.
Yeah,
Village meeting house parking only.
You can put whatever sign you want up there. It won't matter until it gets enforced. That's your issue.
well, I just.
Like,
Oh, right.
that's-
You've got temporary enforcement.
Yeah,
You got-
when I get, I don't know if I go over there.
I do.
Yeah.
But I think, right now, we are seeing more enforcement in the village, from the police department in the last couple of months than we have. And in a while, at least, because just from what I'm being told and what I'm seeing, it's, yeah.
The overnights are really.
If we, you know, if we wanted to ask, I'm sure we could have somebody on an off night when it's nothing going on, go in there and. give it people.
How about at like 1 o'clock tonight, someone makes a call so we can actually plow it tomorrow?
Okay.
That's the thing, yeah. And the
Because
people
there'll be
that
half a
live in
dozen cars in there, we
there's an
can't get in there.
There's an apartment next door, they use it like all the time.
There are two
And when I
apartments,
told
yeah.
them not
Well,
to park there, he just ignored me, so I live
Then
here.
we'll
and
have to
walk
start
in.
towing them.
Right.
And once we change the code and the sign, then we'll start towing them.
Well, I mean, you're better off doing it now because you have it on the books for 2-hour parking.
yeah, I mean, it's not, so
Good point,
it's governed, it's regulated by the section of the vehicle and traffic chapter of our code for timely parking. Well, we're not talking about timely parking. So we can just repeal, we can just take that reference to the village meeting house out of that section. The question is whether, you know, if we were just out, just village owned property, we can just sign it any way we want. What I need to think about is whether or not we can then, is how we can enforce that. And whether we can totally vehicles.
Okay,
If we have, it, so I know the policeman did say, because I was there the one night, because there was an event, and there was a ton of cars in the parking lot, so I wanted it cleared out, so he came up. I had gone earlier and hit the thing down that said, event parking only, the parking, and he said as long as that's there, they can park. Oh, I said I didn't have anything towed that night. But we can, if it's properly marked for events only, then they can park.
A lot of them. I think it's more a night user. Plus the church rents it, you know, for their services,
Yeah.
and that's, you know, I had an argument with the server from the restaurant, he refused to move her car.
then with that being said, do we need to put events in the verbiage?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Typical, what,
yeah, so you want to restrict parking, maybe less parking lot to event zone, meeting house event zone. And we want to, if you violate that, you want to either ticket and or tow them. Okay. I'll have to think a little bit about that.
And make one suggestion, the town will toll, for that. We put on a sign that besides that we will tow cars, it makes a huge difference. to people, but, they see that and they won't park there. You just put no parking.
Violators will be towed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if I say towing, they won't park there, but some won't.
And then the apartment owner, you know,
That's the other issue.
that's the other issue, because they take liberty of parking there.
Well, see, this is what I'm trying to remember. I thought there was some sort of
I don't think we ever found.
easement. But then I thought maybe it was just an access, easement, right? But they're actually parking on their property, but they use the parking lot to get out.
No,
No, they're parking in our parking.
the access easement is for the attorneys next door,
Yeah.
not the apartment building attached to the village grill.
Yeah, we don't have any troubles with the attorneys next door.
Well, they also park, their employees park there too.
In our lot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So let me get one.
They're like
I hadn't
858,
heard
you'll
that.
see your parking running.
Can we just chain it? Can't we just put like a chain across the
I
bottom?
mean, it's.
You know, that'd be easy.
No.
That's something we
And
would
then
have to
Doug
chain
would
it
go
on.
and have clean it, because he's always there before the events.
Right.
If anybody who does rent it, we always get there early before their guests there. Or,
Right.
so that could be a possibility.
Put a gate on it and charge to park there.
So
For the access.
what are we talking about? Parking.
Above the old village school.
Yeah,
Behind
the
Village
village
Grill, where that, yeah, what's, hunt store?
Now,
No,
the village.
Sure.
no, there's a jeweler again,
Joseph
two apartments.
in the back.
Yeah.
Parking.
Yep, and then they come down that alley.
Well, yeah, so there's, unless there's a written instrument, yeah, even if it's not, that gives it so we can stop them from doing that again, unless there is some sort of.
You look into that?
How about these other?
Yeah, so-
Swan place?
Yeah, they're 19 Swan or 20 Swan. Yeah, they have that garage in the back that
Yeah.
they have a sign there. I don't know if there's any, like you say, easement
Right.
that actually exists for that.
Is that their property?
This is their
Carport.
property, but it looks like this, when they get to their garage, like, I can see
Correct.
meeting house parking lot.
And there is a sign there that says "Do not block," but it's on their building. It's not. I don't know that that's legit.
Yeah, let's find out about that.
Yeah, I had a question that too. I don't think that's really.
I don't know why it should say it's our driveway versus theirs.
So they don't have a.
They don't have.
This, I think this driveway.
That's the neighbor.
Yeah, there's no easement there. I mean,
Well, we'll find out.
yeah.
Well, it's easy enough. I mean, we can hold it
Yeah.
and see if there's
Yeah. I mean, that, they don't have a problem other than they lose that spot.
Yeah, there's one stop. But it's also, I mean, it would be obviously if they're not happy, because you really have no other way to get to this spot.
Yeah. But it's not a garage. It's a carport. It's like a carport.
It's a carport.
Oh.
It's not, it's not.
The lawyer can come from Maine,
That's the thing.
The front,
and they have an access easement.
yeah, to the front.
Nothing that.
All right,
Okay.
Parking.
last thing on the meeting, I was on the pioneer over there, so.
Oh, good.
But it is over there. Switching to traffic and safety, we did have a meeting this, or I'm sorry, last week, where we discussed, the parking meter question. I got a tremendous amount of really good feedback from and, was given we want a list of municipal resources to start reading. Bottom line on the meter question is that it's not something we want to think and research. Some of the good feedback was that a lot of these municipalities that have parking programs. I've done so few consulting firms given the ideas of how to do a program that's truly geared towards your footprint and what you're trying to achieve. And I think that that's the right way to talk about enforcement being the bottom line that most all of us, regardless. And there was a recommendation from the committee to discussion around, for us to have a discussion around what our code for parking enforcement is. Reinstating that, and that seemed to be the general consensus from the communities. They were favorable towards a committee of enforcement officer. And not necessarily for the 2-hour parking question, but more so for people that are parking illegally and sort of blocking fire hydrants and parking in crosswalks. It seemed like, and there was an enforcement officer that they did more of that than 2-hour parking. Things like traffic and safety. One side note that I think we mentioned is
Is it your car?
no, it wasn't, it was a pedestrian. It was
Oh,
The
no.
pedestrian got hit
Is it
right out in front?
a pedestrian Friday night.
in the hawk signal.
Was it the hot light?
Pick up the cart about.
They hit him in the hawk signal.
I'm not sure exactly where the car in went. I don't know if they called it. The person signed off.
They were okay.
Yeah, they were paid, but that's the only.
Well, when they ride the library, you should do it, but that's being said, that you should, supposed to be a hit and run. That's probably a lot. For a person, you know, probably a car maybe, actually, windows, they're off.
You can wrap for me again.
All right, thank you, Mr. Buck, thank you, Mike.
22 hours.
WDA meeting. The planning board is in full operation. Tree board feedback, clearly,
About maybe a dozen left. Monroe and Main Street left. We just got clear on the UFPOs, so we'll be digging tomorrow. Monroe and then Main. All sorts of trees. Oaks, maples, elms.
Signing them now?
Yeah.
I have big trees.
Mini excavator, no problem. It's not frozen all the way down.
I have.
Best time to do it.
I thinking of holidays. This week, so these spreadsheets, every, industry. It's used. To be deemed historic and all. So let's see, I'm just giving you this, to using budget.
Thank you. HPC does. I'll share it with them. You might?
I think we want our, everything wants to know a research and study.
Like your copy of when you get it to me.
Yeah, I got some.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not now, it's fine.
You don't want to use this if you want.
Sure, I mean, I don't know, but you are aware that there is a reconnaissance level survey and.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, so if you go on the website, on the DHCC, you can find them and they'll have a lot of information on their properties.
Thank you for the historic.
Well, just the history of the properties. So there's lots of good information.
Bloom,
Yeah, what are they
Rose
called?
and bloom.
bloom and rose.
Bloom Rose.
And rose.
Yeah, they're supposedly going to, which will be really nice. They don't own it, they're renting from whoever bought it. But they were at our holiday market and they sold their produce, their actual benches, so they're like they do, I think that's one of them. They do have one somewhere, yeah, one of them. But they plan on opening one.
That's it?
Parks Committee of New next Tuesday. Last year. Glenn joined board met last week and they're meeting again February 7. They're asking to grant maybe quote. I think we never ever had the landscape, arts, culture, and diversity. A number of events coming up. Very exciting. February 8th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the meeting house, they're doing racial healing circle. And so it's going to be led by women Sundays and following by day, except for you have to be at least age 16. So it's not like a training event. So we'll have flyers out and that. So what they do have, they're planning other people.
And to add to that, I did see somebody, at a meeting the other night from Amherst, the Amherst Arts Culture Committee, and they would like to help with that. And we look, mentioning that to Sophie, so she Yeah. Right.
Yvonne Park Art Festival.
All right, department head reports, Mr. Commissioner. Administrative acknowledgements, notices, please. Chip. Who's right?
Who's worried about what?
Greco or Rico?
Oh, Greek. So,
Rico.
really proud.
Somewhere in the middle. Administrative acknowledgements.
That was such a lawyer. It's this, what is that? No reports, thank
Nothing. Other than I would ask the board members, as you're getting into your committees this next month or so, get a wish list of, things they want so that we can start budgeting for them. Like, the big, the sky's the limit, whatever you are dreaming of, let's start getting it down on paper and finding a way to make those things happen. Because as I go through our 5-year capital plan, most of that stuff's done. Like, we need more big item things to start spending money on and reaching grants and planning to do. So, but that has to be generated from the committees. So do a brainstorming session and what do you want to see in your various parks and buildings and all the rest of it.
So on that, is there anything you would recommend or suggest?
No, I want to hear it from you guys.
Would you want?
I'll have my suggestions when they come, but right now you guys tell me what you want.
More trees, you want
There's never enough trees, unless you are a person who doesn't like trees, which we run into on a regular basis, but more trees always. And I mean, as far as that committee goes, we have another 30 or 40 that are probably going to come down next year. So we will always have places to be putting new trees.
Yeah, because some of the things they mentioned, we do need to do some stuff with them. It goes like that. Sorry, we'll discuss it. But they did a good job going through their budget. I sat with them, we went through the budget together, and then they recently went to the parks meeting, and then they kind of went through and prioritized areas.
We keep, looking forward, looking in the next 5 to 10 years, what do you want to really see? That's all. Oh, and keep putting those Christmas trees out.
Yeah, that's what
finish
they're
the
doing.
We've tried.
Trees.
Hmm?
What do you do with the trees?
When
The Christmas trees.
we chip them and then compost them basically.
All right,
Tip
yeah.
mine up like both things.
Oh yeah,
4 minutes.
nice. We take all of our leaves
All right, thank you very much. Okay, welcome to the Village of Williamsville Village Board meeting for January 13th, 2025, beginning at 7:34 p.m. I'd like to call to order, begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. David Sherman, please.
Oh, I had to come up.
I pledge
allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Roll call, please.
Okay, Mayor Hunt,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Tory,
Here.
Trustee Celeste,
Here.
Trustee Han,
Here.
Trustee Jeff.
Here.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you, Administrator Knell. Make a motion for the approval of minutes from the regular meeting from December 9th, 2024, the special meeting of December 19th, 2024, and the special meeting of December 31st, 2024.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Briefly, the rules of procedure are available on the table. If you do address the board, please address the board as a whole and limit your time to 3 minutes, please. Thank you. Make a motion for suspension of rules for public participation. All those in favor? Aye. If anybody would like to step up to the podium and address the board, please do so. State your name and whether or not you're a village or Amherst or town resident.
Somebody's got to come up. Good evening. My name is Thomas Franklin. I want to thank you all for 3 minutes to present my project for the planning, village planning. That this project, and I spoke to Brian Culpa, the old mayor of the village, about this, and here's the original project going back to April 2010, where everything that I'm going to present to you was in there, but it wasn't implemented or expedited in terms of putting it together. And I just want you to know that Ellicott Creek is the lifeblood of the village of Williamsville and the town of Amherst. That the town of Amherst Central Parks and Greenway Trails and cultural heritage preservation is a part of this as far as the interconnectivity of the watershed having to do with the Glen Park Joint Board, the intermunicipal cooperation agreement that we're looking at a 5-year, $10 million capitalization of the project. There are 3 essential parts to it. As far as the capitalization, the Niagara River Greenway, the Erie Canal National Heritage Corridor. And what's really amazing is that where you're sitting, that this place played a strategic role as far as the limestone quarries in the production of the canal. That it needs to be packaged and promoted because it's a part of, as far as the planning process that you just permitted authorized, what is it, a $160,000 capitalization for upgrading the plan that as far as that the infrastructure is in place, as far as the Glen Park Joint Board, as far as being the lead agency for the capitalization, that this was the purpose for the relicensing of the Niagara Power Project. That's why you have all the cracks out here. That's why you have, as far as the erosion, that's why they had to replace the stairway going into the town hall. It has to do, the reason why Simonelli, the chairman of the board, allocated $450 million over the 50-year period was to mitigate the cumulative negative impact. And that money was given to Erie County and Niagara County. That, you know, as far as the,
Okay, Tom, want to wrap it up? Thank you.
yes, the intermunicipal support.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh, okay, what I,
No,
the
thank you,
last
Tom.
thing that I wanted to mention, it has to do with the the Ellicott Creek, the infrastructure for the built environment is all based on, as far as the management and the maintenance through 2050. It has to do with the water lines, the sewer
Thank you, Tom.
lines, and the
Yes.
highway storm
Okay.
sewers.
Thank you, Tom.
And, and you mentioned, Cheektowaga, Ellicott Creek is 47 miles up to, Six Flags, Darien Lake,
Yeah.
right?
Thank you,
exactly.
Tom.
That,
Okay.
and, that environmental, you know, as far as, I've got a letter from Kathy
It's
Hogan.
okay.
What do
Thank
they
you,
call
Tom.
her? The Governor of New York.
Tom,
I got 2 letters.
you have no more time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, we might, okay, as far as the.
Thank you, Tom.
And my last suggestion is that the village and the town on this planning, process, should, have like a quarterly, joint meeting.
We'll
to,
think of something,
As
yes.
far as,
Thank you.
the watershed.
Okay.
Because, look, this is in California. This
Tom.
is, but, the
No.
reason for the Greenway, legislation
Tom,
and the
don't make me
United
get up.
States Army Corps of Engineers
Tom,
is to mitigate, so that FEMA,
Tom,
okay, I'm sorry. All right.
you never go this long. You're really disappointing me right now. That's enough. Okay, you had your
Well,
3
I've
minutes.
had,
Bye.
oh, okay. Thank you. You do good work. I'll get to it.
Thank you, Tom.
That, the last thing that I wanted to mention as far as this, project is that it's going to have, between the $250 and $500 million, value proposition, through 2050. As far as the environmental, and it's tied into the school districts, as far as.
Thank you, Tom. Please sit down. We missed you too, but thank you very much.
I can't think
Okay.
of anything else.
Okay, thank you. I know, it's been a few weeks. I get it. There's a lot there to say. Okay, anybody else would like to step up to the podium?
Hi. Moira Williamsville. I wasn't here for the first thing, I just wanted to get it, the Ellicott Creek update. And I just wanted to know how we're gonna combine that with the water management issue that we see in California and what we're planning to do about a plan for that as well.
Sure, we're not tying this into California. Okay, we have received a preliminary report. We've asked for more information on certain topics and we're moving on from there.
What we're gonna get is what we're gonna have.
We got a report at the end of the year, a preliminary report. We need more information. There's not enough information there to make a decision. It's a
And I'm sorry
long-term
about your
decision.
attitude about the water management. What I meant is that what California showed us would be the importance of having a water management program. And I think that it's something that you want to think about. So maybe you can combine it into it, but it's very important because we need to preserve that crown jewel that's all in our heart. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, make motion to close, suspension rules for public participation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We have no proclamations this evening. To make a motion to open up the public hearing for the local law amending chapter 103 vehicle and traffic law, section 16,
no standing to establish a no standing zone on the east side of North Ellicott Street, 100 feet north of Main Street.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
If anybody would like to step up to the podium to comment on that local law, please do so. I see no one coming to the podium. Make a motion to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, reports and resolutions. Under reports, I would just like to thank our volunteer fire department. A couple weeks ago, there was a fire on Highland, and they were outstanding in what they did for the people who were displaced. I'd like to also thank the One Eyed Cat Brewery for what they did. But I did want to mention that that was an outstanding gesture, and everybody, it does show what a great community we truly are. So thank you very much to our volunteers. I have no other reports. Make a motion that it be resolved that the following budget transfers are hereby made in the general fund for the 2024-2025 fiscal year as written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, make a motion that it be resolved that payroll and vouchers in the amount of $547,826.18, covering the period from 12/2/2024 through 1/13/25, are hereby approved as follows, as written. All those in favor? Aye. Make a motion that it be resolved that all members of the Village Board of Trustees are hereby authorized to travel to the 2025 annual legislative meeting of NICOM to be held in Albany, New York, from February 2nd through February 4th, 2025, at a cost not to exceed $825 each to cover conference and lodging. All those in favor? Aye. Whereas the next village election will be held on June 17th, 2025, and whereas the offices to be filled and the terms thereof are as follows: 2 trustees for the terms of 4 years each. Now therefore be it resolved that the administrator is hereby authorized to publish a legal notice designating the date of the election, the offices to be filled, and the terms thereof in the January 30th, 2025 Amherst Beat.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Whereas the next village election is to be held on Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, and whereas the hours of voting shall be from 12 noon until 9 p.m., now therefore be it resolved that said village has 1 election district, which includes the entire area of the municipal boundaries of the village of Williamsville, and be it further resolved that the sole polling place of holding such election shall be at the Williamsville Village Hall, 5565 Main Street, Williamsville, New York. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Corey?
Thank you, Mayor Haynes. I just want to mention that a zoning board meeting will take place this Wednesday. Environmental will be on Monday, which is a holiday, but we will be here in the conference room at 7:15. I have 2 resolutions tonight. Number 1, we resolve that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign the proposal from Flynn Battaglia Architects in the amount of $8,250 for the preparation of construction and bidding documents for the Lehigh Valley Section House roof replacement and for repairs.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye. Resolution 2, whereas the Village of Williamsville Board of Trustees hereby requests financial assistance from the New York State Homes and Community Renewals +1 Accessory Dwelling Unit, also known as ADU program, in order to create the Williamsville Accessory Dwelling Unit Pilot Program. And whereas the Village of Williamsville has a goal to increase housing affordability and enhance multi-generational living options while protecting the character of our neighborhoods, and whereas the village's program proposal aims to generate additional housing opportunities through direct assistance to homeowners with the design, approval, and construction of new and rehab accessory dwelling units in eligible zoning districts, including those units intended for aging parents and disabled adult children, and whereas the Village of Williamsville will act as lead agency and certifies that the town of Amherst will be the program administrator for program delivery services, and Belmont Housing Resources for Western New York Incorporated will be the village's not-for-profit partner to provide construction management services. And whereas the grant program does not require a match, now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Williamsville Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the submittal of the grant proposal for the Williamsville Accessory Dwelling Unit, also known as ADU, pilot program to the New York State Homes and Community Renewals Plus One Accessory Dwelling Unit Program.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. That's it, thank you.
Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor Tory, trustee Celeste.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I have one report and one resolution. On the report, I'd just like to announce that the Youth and Rec Committee will be holding their winter party and sledding fun on Saturday, February 8th. That's from 1 o'clock to 3 p.m. at Glen Park at the Knoll Nature Pavilion. There you will be able to find the winter themed crafts and games, snowman building contest, sledding, which I think we'll get in this year. But bring your own sled. We're not going to provide one for you. Hot chocolate, s'mores, fire pits, and all that good stuff. So that would be on February 8th. On the resolution, I have one. And be it resolved that the local law number 1 of 2025 to amend chapter 103, vehicles and traffic, section 16, amending the no standing restriction on North Ellicott Street is hereby adopted. Second.
Second, yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, trustee Celeste. Trustee Hahn?
No further reports, except that the WPA meets tomorrow at noon at the area thing.
Thank you. Trustee Jackson?
Thank you, Mayor. I have, arts, culture, and diversity are going to hold a racial healing circle that's gonna be on Saturday, February 8th, at the meeting house. Ages 16 to adults will have the flyer uploaded onto the Facebook page. There's a little more details on that. Plan card for the board will meet February 12th at 7. Parks Committee is meeting next Tuesday at 7 here in Village Hall, and then Arts, Culture, and Diversity is next Monday. The 13th of February, 7 o'clock.
Thank you, trustee Jackson. Staff reports, Administrator Canal?
Nothing to do.
Committee Rico?
Nothing else.
DPW, no. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening. Yeah.
I see you.